Hello everybody, this is Tiny Gamma King coming at you with a nice little team breakdown for the new league that we are in. This is the Season 2 of the Great Lakes Draft League. Um, I'm really excited for this season as Great Lakes Draft League is actually where we started our first draft. So I wanted to show the difference of how I played in first season compared to how I play in this season. And hopefully people can see the difference of how I've grown. Um, this season is a little different. It's not based off of the Great Lakes. Each division is named after a Pokemon. And we are in the Quailfish division. Quailfish division is a non-Dynamax division. Um, as I figured Dynamaxes aren't going to be here forever, so might as well start getting back used to non-Dynamax format. So I applied for the non Dynamax. I also applied for the Dynamax division if they needed an extra coach, but they didn't, so they put me into the non Dynamax because it's the one I wanted more than the other. So in this division, there are how many? There's 12. 12 coaches, and we got pick pick 8 in the draft. So we weren't right at in the middle, but we weren't in the best of a draft spot. So I was trying to figure out how I wanted to draft. Um, so what I decided on is I kind of wanted to draft a mixture of Pokemon I've never used before and Pokemon I have used before. So uh, we could try new things out, but still be hopefully in a comfortable zone to show the growth that we've done for between seasons. So we will go through the Pokemon that I picked. So, first Pokemon I picked, I've never used before, but I knew I wanted a terrain setter. Um, and I was really hoping we would get this one. As it's a terrain that we've used before. So we picked up Tapu Layla. So Tapu Layla, like I said, I've never used, so it should be interesting. It gives us the psychic terrain, so it stops priority moves on both sides. So we got to remember that for ourselves as well um, against our opponent. But it also stops them from using priority moves onto us. And I figured Tapu Lele gives us a nice support, but definitely can do some good damage against our opponent. Um, doesn't learn expanding force probably because they figured Tapu Lele with expanding force would be a little overpowered, but I wish it did have expanding force. But it is what it is. And it also has the ability, which it does have the ability telepath So it makes it so if we want to use that, we can use it. So if we're worried about damaging our own Pokemon with some spread moves, wouldn't have to worry about that. So that's always in the back as well. Um, and with the speed it has, it's in an alright speed tier. It's a 95, so it can still be pretty good um, to outspeed some some Pokemon. So that was our first draft pick. Now, for the second draft pick, I wanted to keep going with um, the uh, fantasy core, and I was actually just a little surprised I was able to get this Pokemon come back to me, but I'm happy it did. Because uh, actually, I'll just show you. So we drafted Dragapult. So Dragapult, as I said, gives us the speed. Gives us the Dragon for our Fantasy Core, but it also gives us a huge speed. Um, Huge speed. Like, it's one of the fastest Pokemon that I can think of. I think the only Pokemon I think that outspeeds it is Regieleki. I could be wrong about that. But it still gives us, so it gives us a huge speed, and it has a really nice attack at 120, and has a nice special attack in 100. So we can use Dragapult in both um, a physical aspect and a special aspect if we choose to go that way. So I'm hoping that'll make it so our opponent doesn't know which way we're gonna use him. But we can also use Dragapult as a good support mon. So that's what I'm hoping we can do. That we can get use from all of our Pokemon in this year as somewhat of a support. They can either be a support mon or they can be uh, a Pokemon that can do some alright damage as well. Um, so that was our second pick, and then with our third pick, our third pick actually isn't going to be as big a support mon as I thought he was going to be, to tell you the truth. Because when I looked up this Pokemon, I thought it could learn Follow Me, because it said it could learn it in Gen 8. But the thing is, it can only learn Follow Me in Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. And that's Lucario. So, it still has some support options, just not the main one I was kind of hoping for. But it can definitely be a good Pokemon, and it also finishes off Fantasy Core. And it does give us some options that we can use. It does have Justified, so we can use. We could, if we really wanted to do that. The thing is we're not in a Dynamax format, so that'd be a lot of damage taken from it, I would think. But we can definitely look into that. And but like I said, it's a nice mon to finish off our fantasy core. It is in a focus if we want to do that, so it can't be flinched. And it has steadfast if we want it that way. So if we do get flinged, our next he becomes faster. But like I said, it's mostly just to finish off our fantasy core, and another Pokemon that like I said can be either support um, or can attack, and with both a special attack of 115 or 100, we can go either way with that. Um, the next mon we drafted is the start of our water, grass, and fire core, and that is Blastoise. So Blastoise, like I said, is the start of the water for, for our core, but like the rest of our mons, it can be both support or offensive. So I figured, and with an attack of 83 and a special attack of 85, it's not one of our stronger hitters, but it can still do some damage. Um, but it does have some alright defenses in 100 defense and 105. And the speed tier is kind of a little awkward one if you ask me, with 78. It's at that point that it's uh, maybe a little too um, slow. I mean, too fast to be in a trick room, but too slow not to be in. I mean, too slow to be out of trick room. But it does have moves like Shell Smash, which will be able to um, like double our speed if we want to go that way. Um, and so it's not too bad. And like I said, it does have. I think it'll be the only Pokemon we have on our team now that I think about it that has Fake Out, because it does get access to Fake Out. Um, but like I said, we with the Psychic Surge, we'll have to remember that if we want to use it for that. So that was the fourth mon we drafted. Now, the next one we drafted. Let me make sure it was this one. Sorry, guys. Yeah, okay. So the next one we drafted was Slowbro. So, Slowbro Galar, sorry, um, is an interesting Pokemon. It's probably going to be, actually will be, um, a main Trick Room setter. Since I'm pretty sure it's only Trick Room setter. But it has some interesting abilities. It has Quick Draw, its signature ability. So it has a chance of going first. And I don't know if it's first or first in the priority. I gotta look into that. So that is something. Then it's its own tempo, and then regenerated. So that's nice. If it's a little injured, we can switch it out. It heals itself. So, and like I said, it can still do some really good damage with 100 in both special and physical attack. And with 95 in defense and 70 in the special attack, it's not the greatest, but it's doable. And like I said, if it's gonna be it's with 30 speed, it's gonna be great in Trick Room once we get it if we get it set up, and probably one of the quicker once it gets into Trick Room, it'll be one of the quickest Pokemon since it has such a low speed. And then it has like moves like Expanding Force that we can use with Psychic Surge. So that was our next pick. So the following pick we did actually, I'm glad we got it. It was a little, it's a Pokemon I've used before, and I really liked it because, like I said, it does both it does both into support and offensive. I did think it was a tier lower than it was when I drafted it. I believe it was tier 3, but I thought it was tier 4 when I first looked. So we had to change some Pokemon that I drafted after him due to the miscalculation in my points. But the Pokemon we drafted was Savali. So like I said, it's great in both support and offensive. And the great thing about Savali is it can be any type. So if we need an extra of one type, it can come out and it can be that type. Or it can just be a Pokemon that we stick a different item on. And then we're not set to a certain type. So that's why we picked up Savali. So the next Pokemon we picked up was Sceptile. So Sceptile is, to me, a great mon to use. It gives us an unburdened user due to with Tapu Layla. So that was one of the main reasons I picked him up. Plus, he's already quick without the Unburden. So you get the Unburden on with that, and he's pretty much outspeeding everybody. Like, even a lot of mons that are scuffed, he'll still outspeed. So that's what I think is great about him. Plus he has so he's 105 in special attack, and he's 85 in attack, and which is really weird since he has more viable moves in his physical attack than his special attack. But it still gives us the option of going both ways. So our opponent will have to think about, am I going with the special attack or am I going with my physical attack? So, and he does give us a little bit of support, not as much as some of the other Pokemon we have, but he does give us a little bit of support if we want to go use him as a partial support mon. So then the next Pokemon I drafted, like I said, we had to figure things out a little bit due to my mistake with Savali. So, and I wanted a redirecting Pokemon. So with the points we had, and to me this Pokemon was a great value pick for the tier it was in, was Togepi. So Togepi still, for a baby Pokemon, still has some decent defense and special defense at 65 apiece. And if you put an Eviolite on that, that's going to be still pretty good, uh, in my opinion. Like, we'll still be able to live a hit in some cases. And then it has the ability Serene Grace, if we want to use that. I guess it also has Super Luck if you want to feel lucky, or Hustle. Maybe we'll try to make ourselves a Hustle Togepi. That'd be interesting in a non-max format. Who knows? That could could be doable, maybe. But yeah, Togepi's are mostly going to be on our side for the support. Um, as it has like it's 40 into special attack and 20 in attack. But with Swing Grace, that's not too bad. We could work around it maybe. So that's what I got for our redirecting Pokemon. So then the next Pokemon I wanted to get, like I said, this one I've used before, and it's done really well for me in other uh, leagues I've been in, and that is Tortinadan. So Tortinadan also finishes off a Fire, Water, Grass core, it being Fire Dragon, so it does give us another Dragon type. But with it being Fire, we don't have to worry about it being weak, another weakness to Fairy, because Fire resists Fairy, so it just becomes neutral to Fairy. So that's always nice, but it also gives us a nice mon for Trick Room, to be in Trick Room. Great Trick Room user, in my opinion. It has 91 in its special attack, 78 in its attack, so it's definitely more of a special attacker. But it has a great is a great defense with 135, and even its special defense at 85 isn't too bad. And it has the ability Shell Armor. But one main reason we picked him up was I really wanted a wide guard user, as as us not being in Dynamax format. I figure there's going to be some decent amount of spread moves happening. So wide guard to me just seemed nice, and like I said, Tornadoes is a good mon to be in both support mon and offensive mon. So down to our last two picks. So the next pick we picked, it's definitely not the best user, but I didn't have much options at this point in the draft. And the Pokemon we drafted was Pheasant. I've never used Pheasant. It's definitely not the quickest Pokemon. I think, what was it, 70 something? Oh no, speed's 93, so it's definitely quicker than I thought it was going to be, to tell you the truth. It has an alright attack at 115, which is nice. To tell you the truth, I don't know its move set. I didn't really look into it. The only thing I know, and the main reason why I picked it up, it does learn Tailwind. Since Savali doesn't know Tailwind, you can't learn it in this gen. It was the best Tailwind user I could get. So it does have the super luck ability as well, so we can do that. It's big beak, or big pecs, sorry, so we can't, our defenses can't get lowered. Um, and it has rivalry. I don't know if we'd ever really use rivalry. It's pretty hard to um, to use that in my opinion. Like I think it makes it so it's weaker against its same sex and stronger against the opposite, or vice versa. I don't remember. So, but that's that. So, and that gives us a flying user as well, as we have that we didn't have any kind of flying uh, Pokemon at this point either. So, um, but like I said, it can go both support and offensive, which I really wanted to do this season. And then the final Pokemon uh, I drafted, it's mostly just drafted to give us someone in the trick room that can put out some damage, um, but would also kind of give a weakness pool, because I think at this point we were, let's see, I think had five types in the red. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so we had five types in the red. So I didn't really like that option. So I really wanted to get a Pokemon that could um, help us get rid of some of the red. Uh, and the Pokemon I decided, because it gave us the best in that option, but could still do some uh, nice damage, was Aggron. So Aggron has, I think, a speed of 50. Yes, so 50. So it's still really good in that trick room um, aspect. Um, but even under Tailwind can still get into that up into that nice speed, quicker speed. So we can do um, hopefully get him into both roles, and so that is pretty much my team. Um, and like I said, my goal this season was to try to make it so I drafted Pokemon that could fill a couple different roles. It might be a downfall for me to do it that way, but that was my um, goals for this season, to make people think, am I gonna bring this Pokemon as a support mon, or am I gonna bring this Pokemon as an offensive mon? And uh, I hope that we can get this team showing that it can do that, and surprise some people. So I hope you guys really liked my team. If you have any comments, put that down below. I'd really appreciate it. You can hit the like and subscribe. I know there's the people who are watching this are probably all in the league anyways, but still be nice to get some uh, get some more subscribes, um, and get ourselves out there. So, thanks again for watching this, and once I uh, once we find out who our first opponent is and get that going, I was thinking I might try and do some uh, team builds when we're building for the uh, for our opponent this season. Don't know how that'll be, since I'm usually pretty bad at guessing what they're gonna bring. But that's what we're trying to work on this season. So hopefully we can do that. Um, Anyways, thanks again, everybody, and we'll see you in a couple weeks when the season starts. Have a great night.